What's happening? It's your boy Salute checking in from Birmingham, Alabama, and I'm here with Industry Most Wanted with Tampa. Yes, sir.
Hold up. Yeah.
Ay, rich nigga. Ay, she want a rich nigga. Pop that pussy for a rich nigga. Yo, baby daddy, he a bitch nigga.
Hey, what's going on, man? It's your girl, TampaMystic, and we are live on the Industry's Most Wanted podcast. Listen, I got one of my favorites checking in, man. This dude right here has been a big influence for me on my health and fitness journey. He's a dope artist. He's into real estate. I don't want to give it all the sauce, though. I'm going to let him introduce himself. Shout out to Salute checking in. What's going on with you?
What's happening? Thanks for having me, Tampa. Appreciate it.
Of course, man. This is so super long overdue.
Man, we've been talking about doing this for a long time. I'm just glad we can finally put it together, man.
Facts, man. But listen, you do so many different things. You know, Salute is not just a one-stop. He's a one-stop shop, but he does so much. Tell everybody what you do.
Well, for the people that don't know, my name is Salute. I do music, of course. I produce. I'm a personal trainer, also a real estate investor, and, you know, your battle buddy for life. So,
absolutely, most definitely. You were born and raised in Birmingham?
Yeah, Birmingham, Alabama. Here in town, to be exact. Shout out H-Town. You know what it is.
Shout out to the whole Alabama as a whole, because there's so much talent that comes from Alabama.
Yeah.
Mobile, Birmingham, and other surrounding areas and cities. Take us back. I just want to go back a little bit on your journey. You know, as a jit, as a little boy,
right.
Lil Salute. What was it like growing up for you out there?
And that's a good question. It was so hard, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. I know everybody say that, but you know, growing up in here town in Birmingham is like you already dealing with, you know, the elements against you. You know,
Yeah.
It ain't a lot of opportunities, it ain't a lot, you know, to look forward to. So, you know, if you ain't got no home that you come from that's established, man, you just trying to get it the best way you can.
Yeah.
You know, and that's pretty much what it is. Most people where I'm from, we have that don't make no excuse type personality.
Absolutely.
You gotta go get it. So growing up in Birmingham, it kind of gave me that appetite to be hungry, I guess you could say.
Facts, man. What did you initially desire to do if it wasn't something music related or fitness related? Did you have something else when you were little? You're like, this is what I want to be when I grow up.
Yeah, of course. I think everybody want to play football. Everybody want to play basketball. You know, my first love was football, and then I got more into basketball. But what I really wanted to do was art. Like I'm really like I took AP art from 7th grade all the way till I graduated. So I love to draw.
Yeah.
And I think that's what kind of catapulted me to get in the real estate space. I went to ITT Tech a little while, learned some engineering before I went to the military.
Yeah.
Before I got in, I was literally in college, and I got in trouble.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what sent me to the Army. But yeah, I was in college, kind of scratching that itch of art. Yeah, so I've been in the art space for sure.
Did you play sports at all growing up?
Oh yeah, I was cold in basketball. I was more into football when I was younger, but as I got older, I got into basketball because I was a jump. I think I had like a 44-inch vertical. I was dunking at like 5'7", 8. I'm sitting down, y'all. I ain't that tall. I ain't that tall, but I used to punch it. Everybody that know me went to high school with me. They know how I get off the floor. So yeah, I was my favorite sport was basketball, but I love football. I love track. I also ran track as well. I was a long jumper.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you do that all the way up through your high school years?
Yeah, I did it. I started like in the 5th grade.
Okay.
And then I did a little bit in middle school. I think I did it my 8th grade year. And then like high school, I kind of just focused on basketball all the way to my senior year.
Yeah.
And then I kind of got back into it my last year because I wanted to say I want to be able to do everything before I graduate. So I got back into it my senior year. Yeah.
So why didn't you pursue that outside of high school?
That's a good question. I think like when you graduate high school and you don't catapult right away, sometimes you lose that passion or you lose that, I guess you could say, that desire to do it.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people, even like when you go to the crib, you know people that was good in a lot of different things, but, you know, they kind of got derailed and, you know, went off somewhere else. But that was always my main thing to do, yo.
Understood. Yeah. So you said while you was in college, you got in a little bit of trouble.
Yeah.
You know, you don't have to get into that, but being that you got in trouble, that's what made you decide that you want to go to the military?
Well, actually, I had a very unique situation. This is gonna be the first time y'all hear this on camera. I'm doing this for my people, Tampa. Yeah, I was in college, like I say. I was a smart dude. I took school real serious. I graduated high school with a 3.8.
Wow.
Yeah, I was really big in the math, so that got me into the space of art and in math, so that's engineering, right?
Yeah.
So I was so happy to be there, you know what I'm saying? But ITT Tech, you can't get no full scholarship. So after about halfway through there, I'm the salutatorian of my class. You know, I got the second highest grade in the class. I'm happy. Get a call from the dean. She called me to the office. She was like, so Jermaine, if you don't pay $550 this Friday, you ain't there. You can't go back to class. Type, you know. So I'm like, okay, I did what I knew best. Went back to the streets.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So unfortunately, I got caught up.
Yeah.
And but luckily, my prosecutor was a military recruiter. So that was God working already.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So my Uncle George, who just passed last month, R.I.P. Uncle George, he went and talked to my recruiter because he was in the military.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah, I appreciate that. And yeah, man, he went and talked to her. Like, yo, she was like, I can't send him to jail. You're like, look at his grades.
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
Because if he get this on his jacket, it's over with.
It's over with.
So she gave me a deal. I got a 2-split 8. I got an 8-year deal in the military. If I finished all 8, I would get an honorable discharge and get out. And no jail time. So that's how I got it.
Man, like that's a blessing. Like you said, God intervened. I'm a big believer that God intervenes in certain situations. You know what I'm saying? And that was a blessing. She's seen that you are a smart dude. You're intelligent. You're a good person. You just got caught up in a bad situation. Right. And that happens, you know, and thank God that she put you on another path so you don't have potentially a felony or anything on your record.
Man, I think, shout out to Carolyn Groves. I don't know if you looking or listening, man. Shout out to Miss Carolyn Groves, my recruiter, man. I still remember her name. She saved my life for real.
Yeah.
Because she could have did me in for real, but
for
she
real.
Looked at my future like I can't do him like that.
Shout out to, you said Carolyn?
Carolyn Groves.
Shout out to Carolyn, man. You saved his life.
Appreciate
We
you,
thank
Carolyn.
you. Yeah, most definitely.
For sure.
Where did you do your basic training?
I did my basic training in Fort Jackson.
What was that experience like for you?
Oh man, it was so hot. I went in the month of May. Oh my God. Oh man, South Carolina. Man, it felt like we was living near the equator, man. I swear I used to tell the drill, I'm like, man, y'all show this South Carolina.
Yo, I'm dead.
Man, it was so hot. So that was probably my biggest hurdle to jump coming from Alabama. You know, the weather is completely different than it is in South Carolina.
Yeah.
Man, it's so hot over there. Lord have mercy. But, you know, once I got adapted to the heat and, you know, and what they was trying to do, I actually embraced it. So South Carolina, they call it relaxing Jackson, but we weren't doing no relaxing. not Alpha 239. Shout out Alpha 239. We got busy. For real.
So going through basic training, would you say like physically was fairly easy for you since you had played sports for most of your life?
Yes, it was. Well, when I first got in, I knew how to work out the civilian way.
Yes.
They taught me how to work out the right way.
Yes.
So when you first get to basic training, you know, I thought I could do 150 push-ups my way, you know what I'm saying? So we did a diagnostic PT test, and dude only counted like 52 of my push-ups. I was hot.
What?
I'm like, man, I know I just did about 150. But he only counted, but I was doing them wrong.
Oh.
You know how you see people, they doing a bird arm,
Yes.
that ain't no full push-up. So I taught myself how to go all the way down and all the way up, all the way down, all the way back up. And then after that, I was like, okay. Then I started literally seeing the difference of doing it the right way.
Right.
And then, like, the strength was always there, but the technique wasn't.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? The technique was never there. And until, like, I think maybe like my third week is when I got it. And once they saw me get it, they started telling me to help other people.
There you go.
Because I was so far physically advanced than a lot of people. Man, I was going to work out like 4 or 5 times a week.
Wow.
2 times a day before I went to the Army because I knew I was going.
Wow. Yeah, getting yourself prepared mentally and physically.
Absolutely. So when I got there, I was already running a mile in 5 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is amazing.
Yeah, and then they kind of just molded that into salute.
Absolutely. And you probably started developing some muscles that you didn't even realize existed when you're doing it the proper way.
Right.
You're like, bro, why does that hurt? You know?
Where that come from? For sure.
That is dope. Would you say going through basic training and learning the proper techniques is kind of what influenced you to later on getting into being a fitness trainer?
It is. So I'm glad you asked me that too. So in basic training, you have something called Soldier of the Cycle, right? You have a whole plethora of soldiers, people coming in, and they pick the top soldier that perform the best.
Yes.
From a physical standpoint.
Right.
And I think it was out of like 3,000 people, I finished number 2.
Wow.
And shout out to my boy Jeremy Hurst. He beat me. He joined as an all-Army boxer. So
Wow.
he's the only person that he beat me by 2 points. So you do, back then when we trained, you had 2 minutes to do push-ups, sit-ups, and then how long you would run a 2-mile run, right? So if you, in a certain age bracket, 71 push-ups, you max it, you get 100%. 78 sit-ups, you max it, you get 100%. And anything under 13 minutes, you max it, that's 100%. So I think I had like 357. He had like a 360.
Wow, so you were right there.
Right there, man. And I was proud of it, though, because when my mom and them came to watch me, they got to sit in this little special little pavilion. And that's what catapulted me. I was like, you know, I want to do this fitness thing.
That is dope.
You know what I'm saying? So they gave me like a big plate with the foot athlete on it, and that's what kind of started my whole fitness journey.
That is dope. Yeah. So you spent 8 years in the military?
Yeah, 8
What
years.
was your job in the military?
I was a petroleum supply specialist, combat. So what I did was I put gas in anything that flew, gas, rockets.
Understood.
And ammunition. So I was in a part of what you call a 3-5 platoon.
Okay.
And class 3 is fuel, class 5 is ammunition. And a lot of us are minorities, you know, people that got in trouble or people that's in a situation that they probably wouldn't have picked that job if they had, the choice.
Yes.
You know, but I was grateful to have it. And that's what I did. You know, we had a big responsibility of keeping the airplanes in the air, making sure they had everything to go tear stuff up. So we was literally like the portable gas station. And my time in Iraq, I was conjoined with special forces from Britain, and that's what I knew what an ally was. I'm like, what is an ally? I'm your friend, mate. I'm like, okay, let's get it. So that was a cool experience to actually meet somebody from Britain and have a battle buddy. I had a British Special Forces battle buddy, and I was part of the Special Forces team, so that was cool.
How many countries did you visit while in the military?
I did only one. I only went to Iraq.
Okay.
I only went to Iraq.
That was enough, though.
That was enough, man. But I'm 14 months. Lord, how much I told everybody, I said, look, if you want to become a man, join the military.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes, like my situation, I didn't choose it, but looking back, hindsight is always 20/20.
Absolutely.
And I'm glad I did it because I love it. But when I came back to the hood, man, everybody in my rap group that I started with was gone, dead, or in jail. So it was like, man, that God literally cherry-picked me out of there.
Man.
So that's why I know God is real for sure.
That is a blessing. What was the biggest life lesson you got out of them 8 years being in the military?
Perseverance, discipline.
Yeah.
With anything in business, like how you snap in the hill, like I told you, it's like that's the definition of what being in the Army taught me. It don't matter. It's applicable in whatever field you in, discipline and consistency, and that's what it taught me.
That is amazing. Yeah. When did music start coming into play as far as you wanting to pursue Salute the Artist?
Oh, man. So I'm a real big hip-hop head. Like my brother, I got a brother that's 8 years older than me, so I grew up listening to all the gangster Scarfaces, and, all the artists that I wasn't supposed to be listening to.
Nah, for real. Nah, facts. NWA, maybe.
Right. That was 8-Ball MJG.
Yeah,
at
man.
5 years old.
Legends.
So, I love, shout out to 8-Ball MJG. Them some of my favorites. But, yeah, what kind of got me into it was just seeing how the guys in my neighborhood started rapping. I'm going to just be honest with you, because we always heard it. But when I saw guys out my neighborhood doing it, I'm like, man. So shout out to my guy, Quint, RP QUE, man. He passed in 2022, man. He's like one of the guys that inspired me to do this whole music thing.
Yeah.
Like, so growing up in my neighborhood, it was me, him, a guy named Attitude. He went on to write a song for Nelly Furtado, got a Grammy.
Wow.
He worked with Tim right off my street. And the other guy named Ben Hated, shout out Ben Hated, he moved out here and signed with the Youngbloods. Man. So, like, these my folks, the people that we used to be in the cypher, like freestyling. So, yeah. And I remember Quint used to always say, Cash Money got Lil Wayne, we got Lil Mane. So my name was Lil Mane at the time.
Okay, that's a throwback.
Yeah. So that's what got me into it, just being, being inspired by what was around me. Sometimes it's the streets. A lot of it was the streets, because they was in the streets, and seeing what they did with the money from the street. They go into the studio.
Right.
And then they hit them on the radio. I'm like, man, I know them.
I know that's right. Yeah, that's inspiration and motivation right there. When it's people that are that close to you and you're hearing them on the radio, it'll let you know, I can do that too.
Right.
I can do that too.
Right. And that's like, I never take credit for none of the stuff that, that God put me on a path to do. I always give credit to the people before me. And I think that's what hip hop is about, paying homage.
Absolutely. I think every artist out here, do your homework, man. We're 50 years into hip hop right now.
Sure.
Find out who the people were before you that came from your area, pay them homage, and just learn more about the music industry as a whole, getting your business together, things like that.
For sure.
How long would you say you've been really taking it seriously, like made that transition into like a professional artist where your business is together? How long has that been?
I would say since 2013.
Okay.
when I got out of the military, I got a lot of good connections in Houston. So I want to shout out my boy E-Rock. I always shout him out, E-Rock, because he saved my life, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
When I first got back, I stopped by this studio that I had did this beat for this guy, you know, and I ain't know where to go. I just went back to Houston to that same studio, and I ran into him. And he saved my life. He was like, man, what you do? And within 2 hours, he was introducing me to Devin the Dude. So that's when my whole life changed in terms of wanting to really make it happen and start taking it serious and start structuring it.
Right.
And making it make sense from a business standpoint. Watching Devin, watching E-Rock, you know, how he was respected from our Fifth Ward boys and how he brought me into Rap A Lot, into the Rap A Lot family.
Yes.
And just how Dev and them just pulled me in with open arms, you know, going on tour with them, seeing them how they work. Devin is an alien, man, in a good way. Man, we'll be at the club performing, and he the one performing. He'll be up to 2, 3, 4 in the morning watching that work ethic, that discipline I was telling you about.
I love it.
The very next morning, you look outside, you see him outside flying his helicopter, playing with it, and he up for everybody.
Wow.
8, 9 in the morning, we on the road.
That's
he
crazy.
doing that every night. So that's what I learned from Rap A Lot, just being around how to be a professional.
Absolutely. Being around the right people, you know, being around OGs and like,
Right.
you know, bigger is for me, putting you on game,
Right.
teaching you how to do stuff the right way.
Right.
Going back 13 years ago when you first started really taking this seriously, what do you wish you knew then that you know now?
To be more disciplined. It's easy to say it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And also picking the right people to surround you, right?
There you go.
Because you can't do nothing without no team.
Right.
You can't, like, it don't matter what's going on. Like, look at the Eagles right now. You know what I'm saying? You know, them Eagle fans hurt right now. But last year, it was a different thing. So it's all about your team and the people understanding their responsibilities around you. So I would definitely say understanding the people around you and how you move.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You have to have a team of people that understand their position and their role.
Right.
But also at the same time willing to dive in and take on other roles if needed.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because oftentimes people don't do that. They're like, I didn't sign up for this. I'm only doing this. No, a team player means you're going to do everything if you have to.
Right. You got to be water, man. I tell my brother all the time, like, you know, coming from a small city, sometimes you don't see past what you see, right?
That's right.
So it's been an honor for me to just show them, like, it's more than what you see right there.
Yeah.
And then I always take the Bruce Lee approach, be water. Whatever environment you are, be water. Take
Yeah.
the shape of that. So kind of make you be about, it's not about who's right, it's about what's right.
There you go.
That's my motto. It ain't about who's right, it's about what's right.
I love that. I love that. And, you know, it's funny because I had went to college. I'm a college dropout, you know. I had my son at 19 right after high school, and then I attempted to go to college. So I had a newborn, working a job and trying to go to college. And I'm like, it was hard to balance. But I remember my first day in college, we were in orientation, and the guy said, in life, it's not always about what you know, it's who you know.
Right.
I said, well, then why am I sitting here if it's not about what I know? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, that dude probably should have never told me that, because it went downhill from there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But that's not to discourage anybody from going to college. I'm not there.
Right.
I just wish that they had more trade schools so you could get right to the nitty gritty
I agree.
without taking all these extra classes that you'll never utilize.
Right.
Because I think you could get through stuff. Some things you need longer as a doctor, maybe.
Sure.
But it's like, if you're going to school for certain things, get to the nitty gritty. I don't need all the extra, you know what I'm
Right.
saying, that I'll never use.
Right.
Over these 13 years, 14 years that you've really been taking it seriously, what's the most positive change you've seen in this music industry?
I would say the most positive change I've seen is that from the independent standpoint, people don't have to depend on the label no more.
There you go.
Like,
That's huge.
you know what I'm saying? That's huge because you can dictate what you drop, how you drop, and how many times you want to drop.
Right.
And the content you put out, which I feel like is the most important part.
Yes.
And being an independent artist, I feel like we have a bigger responsibility because the labels, they have a motive.
Right.
To put out the type of artist they want. And if you got the money, you got the discipline to put out your own music, you can make your own impact and have your own voice. So I think that's what's changed in a positive way for hip hop, for sure.
Next question would be this then. What do you wish we could get back to that maybe is no longer around?
That's an even better question. I think getting back to good content.
Yeah.
Getting back to, individuality. You know what I'm saying? People saying and I love everybody. Music.
Of course.
I listen to everybody. I'm
Yeah.
a hip hop head, from the old, from the middle to everybody. But I feel like you being you, saying how you feel, what makes music special, because everybody got a social security number for a reason.
That's right.
You know what I'm
Right. It
saying?
makes them unique, just like our fingerprints.
Exactly. So I think that's what we missing in hip hop. is that individuality and people saying, okay, man, I don't care if people think this sound good. I'm finna just do it because this was coming out my heart.
Yeah.
And I think that's what it's finna get back to. With people like D1 stepping up and really being a real vocal presence in that place. So music is a journal, man. It's like every day we feel different.
100%.
So when you get somebody that's willing to stand by that, I salute that. So I just want to give D1 a special shout out because homie on the ground, he on a mission for real.
No, that's facts. Absolutely. Do you think that the era of CDs, pressing up CDs, is dead?
Yeah.
And if so, why?
I think it's dead because, like, most of the new whips ain't got no CD player.
Right, with the laptops,
Right.
like nowhere you can plug it in.
So it's like, I just went and got the new Mac. I'm like, man, they ain't got no CD-ROM on there. You know, you got to buy, even to put your little thing, you got to buy like a little adapter to put your USBs in.
That's the only thing, real quick sidebar, that's the only thing that I don't like about a lot of the Macs is you have to buy all these extra. It's no different than an iPhone. You got to buy all these extra accessories.
Right.
But you're right. Go continue. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's like a lot of time it's just about that. You know, once you understand that part, it makes everything a little bit easier. Yeah.
Do you think that that will ever become a thing again? Not even necessarily CDs, but some physical form of music versus everything's digital now?
That is probably the best question you asked because I feel like as an artist, you want to feel like what's your being a business person, your ROI, meaning your return on your investment. And especially if you pay for a feature or something.
Right.
What's the value of a song nowadays?
Right.
Man, I just paid homie 5 racks for a song and 5 and this, and now you talking about I'm going to get 40 cents?
Yeah, exactly. It's an insult.
It is. And then it's like these people that's, the first question they ask is like, what's your budget? Well, I'm like, it's over. The budget is there, but what you finna do with it?
Yeah, what am I going to get for this budget?
Right. It's like, what you going to get back from it? So that's why I got to give you your credit too, because you give people a platform to be heard.
Yeah.
And you do it with pure intention. So,
Yes.
So people, if you haven't been in the industry, most want to tap in. If you got a project or something to do, because Tampa one of the most pure people I know when it comes to this.
I appreciate that. Thank you. And it's true, man. Like, I genuinely do this because I love to see other people win.
Right.
It's so much bigger than me.
Right.
This platform is not about me. Like, honestly, I had thought about doing these interviews without even showing my face. But I had put a poll out there and said, do you prefer the and most people said, yeah, they want the interviewer to be in it.
Right.
Because there's some platforms that the interview is not in it. And I kind of was thinking about doing that because I was like, I don't want it to be about me.
Right.
But a lot of people are like, no, you need to be in it. I was like, all right, that's the people demanding it. I'm going to be in this video. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you got that. You got them vibrations. They need to see it anyway so they can travel across the world.
Right, because I got big energy, most definitely.
Sure.
Something I had kind of mentioned to you before we went live, and I'm going to ask your question, your opinion on this, because you've been in the industry for a very long time, but taking it seriously for probably going on, 11-ish years now or something like that, if my math is mathing. Do you feel like, I got to look at the camera when I do this one, hang on. Do you feel like that there is a divide or a disconnect between the artists and the DJs right now?
Oh my goodness, man! I'm so glad you asked me that question, Temple. It's bad, man. It's so bad right now, and I think that's why hip hop ain't got that authenticity that we were just talking about. Because the DJs is what that's DJs started hip hop.
Yes.
What was it, Grandmaster Flash?
Yep.
And, like speaking of the 50 years of hip hop, I kind of do my homework, and that's why it was so dope.
Yeah.
The originality in it. And the connection between the DJ and the artist, between the breaking and the dancing, and me being around Devin the dude, like he loved that.
Yeah.
So he's still into the real hip hop
Yeah.
stuff. And I think that's what we missing, the DJ actually loving this artist and want to make sure they get heard. Yes. Versus, hey man, you got $150. It ain't about, people got money to pay you, but what about the music?
No, facts.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, I understand everybody got to pay their bills, but it's like, where are we going to find the next Tupac?
Yes.
Where we going to find the next, Drake? Or the next, and then we ain't getting it because them artists are getting discouraged because they ain't being heard.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think, and this is not all DJs because I know some great DJs out there, but I think some of these newer DJs, they're not breaking artists.
They just doing it because it's cool.
They're taking these $50, $100 gigs and it's like, bruh, like don't discount yourself and get back to breaking artists. And this is just my opinion. I feel like when the mixtape era started phasing out and the digital streaming platforms started coming in is where that disconnect, because a lot of these artists feel like they don't need the DJ anymore because they got these streaming platforms. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely. So I just think that there's that disconnect there, and we got to get back to artists and DJs really working with each other.
Right. And really on like a basic, like genuine level.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? That's why I love our relationship, because you know me.
Yes.
I know you. So
Yes.
To see you winning and you evolving is actually, it makes me feel good, because you know the journey.
Likewise.
You know what I'm saying? So, and I appreciate
I remember coming to your listening party many years ago.
Yeah, you remember that? Yeah.
Over there across from Street Execs.
Yeah, man. I sure appreciate you coming. That's what kind of started everything.
Yeah.
And right now, my manager is Bun B manager.
Wow.
So it's God is working. So shout out to my manager Bone. He doing his thing.
Yeah.
And E-Rock. E-Rock also helped me manage. That's like my brother, so he gonna be there regardless anyway. But yeah.
Is your manager here locally?
Nah, he's in Houston.
So let's just dive in on that for just a second, because a lot of artists hit me up about management. I used to do artist management, but it's like really a full-time job.
It is.
So I backed away because I felt like I couldn't give them the time they deserve.
Right.
As an artist, what should an artist be looking for or not looking for when it comes to seeking management?
Are they actually working? And do they know? First of all, what have they done first?
Yes. What's their credentials?
Exactly. So it's just like any job, you got to be qualified.
Yes.
So I'll tell people to just ask questions.
Yeah.
Like look at the accent, pretty much ask for the out of your resume.
Yeah.
Like what you did, and be transparent.
Yeah.
In terms of what you want to get done. Like I'm literally doing, like I ain't got it all figured out. I have a management team. Like I said, I got Bone, I got E-Rock, I got other people that help. So
Understood.
having that team, like I was saying, can consist of that one manager. You know what I'm saying? Because like you said, a lot of people ain't got time. People
That's
got
right.
kids. So eventually I want you to be on my management, because I'll let you run the whole thing, because I understand like what your time is. So if you came in, I wouldn't have you finna be doing this 6 hours.
I want that. Put me in position.
Come on, wait.
I'm so serious.
We finna make it happen. Y'all heard that, right?
I'm so serious. You're like, honestly, like one of the very few artists that I would ever consider working with on that level, because you're so polished and professional. And it's no shade to the other artists, because there's some great artists out there. But in order for me to dedicate myself to someone, they got to be super like really about their business and on their grind, and you are that person.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, so we'll definitely talk about that, because I want to be a part of your team.
So y'all heard that. This
Team
finna be
salute,
history.
man.
What's happening? For sure.
What about working with a manager who is not in the same city or state as you? Do you feel like as an artist you need to be at a certain level to be able to have a manager that's not right there next to you to come to your interviews and your shows and stuff?
I think it's so important to have a manager in the city. Like both, like E-Rock and Bone are both in Houston, but the people that help, they're here. They kind of keep an ear to what they need.
Got you.
Guys, so they actually be here to help. So they're really like an extension of them here.
Yeah.
So, you need somebody that's there. And that's one of the reasons why I want, 'cause you here.
Do local
Yeah,
stuff. Exactly.
absolutely. So it's like, you want to have people that's around you so they can see what you're doing.
Right.
So it's different to see it online but versus being in person and seeing it.
Absolutely. Catching that vibe.
Right. And seeing that I get up in the morning at 6 and go to the gym. So it's a real job for me.
Yeah.
So I think that'll make the manager want to go even harder for the artists because of how serious they taking it.
Yeah.
And so I definitely think your manager has to be near you or have a good connection with your team to know what's going on.
Absolutely. 100%.
So,
Who is one of your favorite artists of all time?
oh, Pac. Pac. Yeah, like Tupac, I say Tupac for sure. After that, Scarface.
Okay.
I'm going to go and do my top 5 real
There you
quick.
go. Run through them.
I'm going to do Pac. We got Scarface. Bun B. And he on the album too. So
Yeah. Which is fire.
oh man, that's like Bun is like was one of those lyricists from the South that was one of the first artists that got respected as a lyricist from
Yeah.
the South. Number 4, I gotta go Wayne.
Yes.
And number 5, I'm going Tip.
There you go. That's a nice variety right there.
Yeah.
All right, so let's dive in a little bit more. Give me one of your favorite female rappers.
Oh yeah, okay. Lauryn Hill.
Okay.
I love Lauryn Hill. Let's go a little bit to the left. I'm gonna go Shauna. Shauna, I feel like she one of the artists from DTP. If y'all know who I'm talking about,
Right.
if y'all go tap in with her, she's super hard. Like she had this song on one of Ludacris' album when she was rapping so fast. Y'all think y'all probably remember that, but I was like, man, she go hard.
Yeah, she going off.
Shauna go hard. So I would definitely say Shauna. Another one is Nicki Minaj.
Okay, yeah, Nicki is
Nikki, she stood the test of time and she spits.
Nah, facts.
For real,
She's definitely a people favorite.
Yeah, definitely her. And then from the newer people, I got to give it to Lotto.
Oh yeah.
Lotto raps.
Facts.
She, just seeing her growth coming from, the hip hop, the little sitcom that was on TV and everything.
The rap game.
The rap game, yeah. And seeing her grow and evolve and seeing how her pen game got crazy and how she was able to translate that into hit records.
It's so crazy because when I moved here, I was doing artist showcases at a place called GME Lounge off of MLK.
Oh, yeah.
And Lotto used to come. She was Miss Mulatto back then, and she was maybe like 15. Not even old enough to get in. Her dad would have to come with her, and she would come perform at my showcases.
Wow.
And it's just so dope to see the elevation of someone like her. Like, she was a little girl still, pretty much. You know what I'm saying? Then she went on the rap game and she blew up from there. That's the part of the journey I like, is being with them early on.
Right.
Before they blow up.
Right.
That's amazing. All right. If you could pick one R&B artist to do a record with, who would that R&B artist be?
Oh, man, you know what? That's such a dope question. I would definitely say that new or old.
Either one.
Oh, okay.
Dead or alive, new or old.
Ooh, okay. I like that. Okay. We gonna go I would love to do a song with Tyrese.
Wow, I like that answer.
I would say Tyrese because one of my favorite first R&B songs was Sweet Lady.
Yeah.
That Sweet Lady is a classic.
Man, I get chills just thinking about it. Yeah.
I think he one of the other artists that slept on.
I agree.
That boy can blow. So yeah, I like to work with the underdog. So
I love that.
I work with Tyrese for sure.
That's fire. Out of everything that you do as an artist, like, just take a step back real quick and look at your entire music career as a whole. What are you enjoying the most about it?
Being able to create opportunities for people.
Yeah.
And being able to let my voice be heard.
Yeah.
Like I say, music is a journal. Like you might hear Rich, and then the next song you might hear Plantation Mentality.
Yeah.
You might hear Candy next with Paul Wall.
Yeah.
So I think music is it's like an abstract painting.
Yes.
You appreciate all the different strokes of the brush, and it all makes it what it is. So,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And you said that early on in your life, you enjoyed art.
Yeah.
Being an artist is definitely a form of art.
Yeah.
I love that. I heard Prince say years ago in an interview that your voice is an instrument. And I loved that because you think about all the different sounds you can make and all the different tones and harmonies you can do with your voice. Sure. It's another form of art.
It is. And it's crazy you say that because I've got God winks over the time. I remember when I first got here, I was doing like some background extra work, and I was on the set. I think I was on the set of Selma.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there and I'm talking to my little wife extra, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Running. We still tight. But this guy behind me, he did radio.
Okay.
And he heard me talking. He was like, do you do music or radio? So he was like, cause your voice is like,
you do. You do have a dope voice.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
So he the one made me start, trying ranges, like harmonizing more, trying different things. So yeah, being able to be in that space and just work with your voice as an instrument is dope. Yeah.
Absolutely. And shout out to that guy right there because I really feel like, and I tell artists, when you put a song together as a rapper,
right,
every 4 bars you need to switch up your flow.
Right, for sure.
Because if you sound the same through the entire song, it's kind of boring.
Right.
That's really and people don't even realize, especially people who aren't into music, they just know they like a song, but subconsciously it's that changing up the flow and the different sounds is what keeps people intrigued and engaged.
For sure.
Super important.
For sure.
Who are a few of the artists that you got features from, like bigger artists?
Oh,
wow. Run through them.
Okay, so for this album, my most proud feature I got was from Scarface.
Man.
Scarface.
That is so amazing. He's such a legend.
Oh my God, just how that manifested the conversation in the studio. Let me tell you something. Like that was like the most humbling moment in my life. To be honest with you, because I watched the Yeezy documentary, the thing on Netflix, and he walked in the studio with Yeezy, and for whatever reason, the song he didn't get on the record. As soon as we walked in the studio, started working on his verse.
Man.
So that humbled me to,
absolutely, knowing that he doesn't get on everybody's record.
And he ain't doing it for the money. That's Scarface. So he doing it because he genuinely like what I represent when I'm bringing the hip hop. And
I love that.
And how I'm coming independent. So shout out to Uncle Face. But Uncle Face, I got Slim Thug. Man, shout out.
Shout out to Slim Thug. I rock with him.
Yeah, that's my dog right there, man. Like I learned so much from him. Just one conversation on the set of the video of Heart. Man, we was talking about real estate the whole time.
Wow.
You know, he was telling me how the market in Houston, you know, kind of got a little expensive, and he's looking, you know, to go other places and trying to invest and do some things. And he was telling me like he was building a whole community. Now y'all hear about that?
Exactly,
So,
he
yeah.
sure is.
So to be honest with you, I kind of look up to bruh in that aspect of what he do in real estate, because he's
Right.
been doing that alone. Like Boss Hall Construction been around for a while.
Absolutely.
So we got Thug on the album. We got Paul Wall on the album.
Another legend, like.
Yeah, we got Baby Bash on the album.
Oh, wow. You really took it to Texas.
Yeah, man. I love, like, Texas. Like, I grew up in Alabama, but I wouldn't be doing no service if I didn't say I love Texas.
I love that sound that comes out of Texas, you know, and even going back to the chop and screw days, you know what I'm saying?
Man. Like, I love H-Town. Like,
Me
most
too.
people, when they hear me talk, they think I'm from Houston.
Yeah, you do kind of sound
Yeah.
like it, and it's probably because you got a lot of influence from
Yeah.
and respect people from out there.
Yeah, and I lived, like, most of my adult life being in the Army in Texas.
Yeah.
And
Oh, there you go.
And then staying there. I got there when I was, 18?
Yeah.
And I stayed there for, like, 4 years after I got out of the Army. So,
Yeah.
so a lot of my adult life, my gangster stuff I got into, it was in Texas. Yeah, so I became a man in Texas.
Yeah.
So shout out to H-Town. So who else I got? We said Bun B, we got Paul Wall, we got Scarface, we got Slim Thug, Baby Bash. And I got one more that I'm working with this girl named Gold, and she's super dope. She's an up-and-coming artist out here. It's a real dope song. So, yeah, man, I got some cool features on there. And,
That is fire.
And Beat King. Sorry, my bad, Beat King.
Yes.
That's the single. That's that. I left that out, but I got Beat King on there that he produced and, you know, dropped the hook for me. And I got another record I did with him that he produced called Pull It Off. So,
As an independent artist, do you think, and this is speaking for you, but maybe other artists out there, do you think it is helpful to get a big feature on at least one of your records?
I do. I think it shows the people, your colleagues, that you serious.
Yeah.
So if they got a price, like if you go in the store and they say that's 10 grand, and you come in there and you buy it, they say, okay, you serious.
Yes.
Because you have people that want to shop all the time.
No, trust me, I know that every day, y'all. Window shoppers be killing me. They ask you the price and they never get back to
Right,
you.
you're like, man, what we doing?
Bless your heart.
Right, what we doing? So if I ask the price, you can take it to the bank. So that's, yeah, man, you gotta, yeah.
Absolutely. And I heard you said, was it which one? Slim Thug, that
Yes.
you had the conversation about real estate?
Yeah.
How important is it to have, like, for artists that you work with, to have those type of intellectual conversations where it's just you actually make that connection outside of music? Is that important for you?
I think it's real important because they see who you is.
Yeah.
So they understand your music and what you're saying.
Yeah.
You know, they see the growth in your music from what you're doing in real life. And I think that's what a lot of my colleagues have saw that I work with.
Yeah.
So to answer your question, I think it's definitely important for, if you're an independent artist, invest in yourself, man.
Yeah.
That by being able to say, hey, Scarface, I got this for this record. I got this for that record. For these individual artists. They're like, man, how you doing that?
Yeah.
So it comes with a level of respect. Like, okay, you remind me, like even Uncle Bun, he's like, man, you remind me so much when me and Pimp first started because you hungry.
Yeah.
You know, so just hearing that from Bun B, man, that lit me like a wick.
Nah,
For real.
facts. If
yeah.
nothing else motivated you, that will.
Yeah, man. So yeah, you want to get, and that's like, you want to be appreciated for what you do.
Absolutely.
And to get appreciation from an artist that's already done it,
Yes.
and that kind of give you a different level of motivation.
100%. So let's talk about the current music that's out there right now. You said Beat King. You mentioned him.
Yeah.
For people who are not in tune, let's put them on game. What is the two most recent songs that you put out?
My two recent songs I put out was Heart and Rich.
Rich.
Yeah, Rich comes out January 19th. The video is out right now. It's doing real well.
Yeah.
And those are the two last records. And, of course, Protect Your Peace. I always do, like,
Yes.
a conscious record to kind of balance. I'm a Libra, y'all, so I got to
Yeah.
might get y'all a club record, but I got to get y'all that real, too. Y'all going to get that real for me.
I love that. My dad's a Libra. That's why we so connected.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
he's very about balance, and I think that's where I get it from.
For real? I didn't know your daddy was a Libra.
He's September 29th.
I'm 24.
Wow. That's why we connect and we vibe, because he's my favorite person in the world. Like, I love my dad, man.
Oh, man.
Yeah, and it's ironic because he's very much into, like, being health conscious and
Right.
stuff like that.
I got to meet your dad.
He's like a scientist.
I got to meet him.
Listen, not to get off subject, but my dad, I remember when I was little, he was a grower.
Right.
And he used to cross-pollinate and make his own strands and stuff.
Right.
But he was very into the Egyptian culture to the point where he actually built a huge pyramid and he would sit inside of it and meditate. Wow. He knew all the proper like dimensions and my dad is amazing. Yeah. Because pyramids are energy.
Right.
And he would sit inside there and meditate. So that's kind of how I got into like being interested in the Egyptian culture. One day I'm going to visit there. You know what I'm saying?
I want to meet your
I would love for you to meet him. He's such a dope person.
Yeah, I bet that conversation going to be crazy.
Oh, yeah. Y'all will conversate for hours. I promise you. He going to pick your brand. You going to pick his.
I love it.
Yeah, so we're going to make that happen for sure.
For sure.
Album. When is the album coming out?
The album is coming out in February. I ain't picked the date yet in February, but it's coming out February. I'm dropping 24 songs this year. The year 2024. Kobe is my favorite artist of all time.
Yeah.
One of my favorite people of all the time.
Yeah.
That Mamba mentality. So it's like a commemoration to him. I'm doing 24 songs. I'm gonna drop them in installments of 8.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
I love that.
So the first 8 come out in February. The second 8 come out in the summer, and then the last 8 come out in the fourth quarter.
What's the title going to be for the February project?
Contraband.
And is it going to be like a part 1, 2, 3?
Yeah.
I
This
love
is actually
it.
part 2.
Part
Part
2.
1 is already out. Yeah.
That is dope. So sometime in February, they can look forward to that. The Rich video is already out. By the time they see this, the single will already be out on the digital platforms.
Right.
So, Salute featuring Beat King. Produced by Beat King as well.
Yes.
That is dope, man.
That boy hard, man.
He is so talented.
Man, I went to his house and did it, me and my manager.
Wow.
We pulled up over there, man.
He seems like that humble type of guy.
Man, that dude's so funny, man.
Yeah, he looks like a comedian too.
Man, my boy funny. So we in there, and just a good vibe, good energy. I step outside to take my medication. And I come back in. He already got the beat made. He started with the piano. Yeah, I'm like, man. Then 5 minutes later, the hook was done. Then
that's crazy.
I went to Jamaica the following day when I left Houston, and I took my studio. I did my verses in Jamaica.
Wow.
And I sent them back to my engineer, and he was like, yeah, that's hard. We got one. So
the grind don't stop, bro.
Yeah, and we got an album we about to do too.
You and Beat King together, executive produced by him?
He's gonna be executive produced by him. I'm gonna do a few beats on that too.
That's fire. Yeah. So that particular record, you said you went outside, you was doing your thing, you came back in. Did you kind of give him instruction on what you wanted the beat to sound like, or did he just put it together? How did that?
I think it just came off the energy.
Yeah.
Because music, like you said, music is an energy,
yes.
It's a vibration. So when I came in, like that we were just mentioning earlier, when you go in the store and you ain't window shopping, people know you serious.
Right.
So he gave me his price. I'm like, oh, yeah, what's your cash up?
Man.
It's on the way.
That's crazy.
So I guess this kind of way it kind of came around. Like, this boy get money.
I love that.
Yeah, so it was like almost like, and rich is pretty much like, it's not just about being a rich person. It's about not having a lazy mentality.
Absolutely.
So that's why I love the record, yeah.
Yeah, because you can be rich in other forms.
Right, for sure.
Like, having a good partner or, having good family and you love them. You're rich in love. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
Same thing, like not having that lazy mentality. I think that's where a lot of artists go wrong is they... Look, this man got multiple phones over here. I got 8 phones.
Okay, I'm talking about for real. Sorry about that, y'all. I got a call during my interview. I'm sorry about that.
Listen, it's all good. Trust me, the business don't stop.
Yeah, and that's definitely money calling, but he gonna be all right when I get out. That's my boy Solo. Shout out Solo, man. Shout out Solo. I'm gonna call you back in a minute, man.
So one last question I want to ask you is, you're into real estate as well. Mm-hmm. So you do so many things on the music side besides being an artist. Mm-hmm. You sounds like you produce as well.
Yeah.
Of course, you're into fitness and nutrition. Real estate is something that you've been involved with as well. For how long?
I think for 4 years. It'll be 4 years next month.
Yeah.
When my mom passed on February 3rd, 2020.
Man.
She died a week after Kobe, so that was a hard week for me.
Gosh, I'm so sorry to hear. That is tough.
Yeah, I appreciate it. It was tough. But I think I was that piece of metal that God wanted to hit and send through the fire to become that sword. So during that time, I literally didn't know what I was gonna do.
Yeah.
When you lose your mama, you lost.
I know.
Real. So she left my brother the house because he was there with her a lot. So he left her. She left him the house, and I think from the spiritual world, I think that was her telling me this is what I want you to do.
Absolutely, it was.
This the same month, the very same month I bought my first rental property.
Wow.
So she died on February 3rd. We buried on the 8th. And then I bought my house on, I think it was the 15th. And then that Monday is when the COVID happened. Well, we got locked in the house. So I bought my house right before we locked in for COVID. And then when I came and when we started getting back outside, I started fixing on it. Yeah.
Your mom is absolutely, she here right now.
For sure.
That's how, and that's, you know, what's so ironic. My mom passed in March 5th of 2021. So our moms died almost exactly a year apart. Isn't that crazy?
I didn't know that. Wow. I'm so sorry for your loss too. I didn't know that.
Difficult. Yeah. Cause I lost my sister back in 2012 at 41. So it's like all the women in my life, which was the two, my sister I lost. So I completely understand. But I say that to say this, they are absolutely with us.
Right.
I feel like everything I've done here is because of my mother. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
She loved what I do, and I'm like, that's what makes me go so hard. And same thing with you.
That's dope, man.
So for real estate on that side, if anybody's like, do you actually sell houses?
Yeah, I got several houses. You can go to my website, saluteempireservices.com.
I love that.
I'll be rotating, rental properties. I got Airbnb downtown Birmingham.
Oh, wow.
I kind of dabble in all the real estate spaces.
Yeah.
And then I do what you call, I'm going to get some free game. I keep what you call a revolving property. Like I keep a property that I can sell, like a vacant property, just in case somebody want to do one. I have a property to flip.
Yep.
And then I have what you call a revolving property. A revolving property is something that you can fix it up and you can circulate money off of it.
Got you.
Because once you own your house, you can take equity out of it, right?
Yeah.
So say, for instance, if you buy a house, you buy a tax deed house, and if you guys want to learn, go to your local courthouse and ask about tax deed properties. That's how I started. And get you a good lawyer so they can clear the houses and get you a title company. So that's the process: lawyer, title company, and once you do that, it makes everything easy. So you can buy a house for about $5 to 10 grand from a tax deed.
Yeah.
That's already valued at maybe 80, 90,000, right? Once you fix it up, put you 20, 30,000 in it. Now you own it.
Yes,
it's your house now.
Wow.
But you only like what, 20 upside down, 20, 30 upside down, but the house now is worth 150, 100.
100%.
So now you can take out some loan value. Now you can get to rolling.
There you go.
Now you can implement that same street mentality in it. So that's all it is, just like the streets,
Yeah, buying two, like my son and his wife bought two homes. They first bought a home that was in a neighborhood that was still being built.
Right.
When they sold that, it was in the Tampa area, they made almost a $200,000 profit.
Oh, yeah. Like I tell everybody,
it's crazy.
If you want to get into real estate, the best way to start real estate is become a homeowner.
There you go. Exactly. And that's their second home they bought, which was up here.
Yeah.
They lived in it for 8 months, sold it, and made a $60,000 profit.
Yeah.
I was just like, yo.
Oh, yeah. And you can literally do that. I mean, so many people do that in these HOA developments. Like when I first moved to my first house I bought about 7 years ago, man, I watched like people, their kids, like soon as their kids graduate, you see their houses going for sale.
Yes.
Because that's how they pay for their kids' college.
Right.
That equity each year.
Absolutely.
You ever wonder why your homeboy in the class cutting up, he ain't worried about going to college?
Yeah.
Man, you ain't trying to get no scholarship. You already know his mom and their dad are going to pay for it.
They said.
Because they understand how the equity and all that stuff works. So I tell anybody, your home ownership can send your kids to college.
Yes.
It can start you in the real estate business. It can kind of, give yourself that financial freedom that you need for sure.
Man, that is amazing. Did you exercise your VA loan?
Oh, yes, Lord.
Because you can do that in each state, right?
Absolutely.
I think you could use it in each state.
Yeah, and you can do. I just found out last week that you can have 2 VA loans.
Really?
Yeah, you can have 2. So what I'm finna do now?
In one state?
Yeah.
Okay.
You can do it anywhere. You can have one Georgia. So for me, my second one is gonna be in Jamaica. So this is what I want to talk. We're gonna talk about that off camera. But
wow.
I'm thinking about opening up like a little workout resort type studio.
There you go.
Jamaica, like right on the beach, so you can come there record. Like some artists want to have that Zen time by themselves. So just imagine how it would be to record in Jamaica on the beach. You gotta,
that's
everything.
A vibe.
Yeah, so that's my next goal. That's my final last trick pony thing I'm gonna do when I finish real estate.
I love that. Bigger gonna go there. He from Jamaica.
Yeah, that's my boy.
He
right
like, I pull it up.
Shout out Bigger Rankin, man. That's my big brother. I learned so much from Bigger. And just see how you talk about him, and it's like it's really like family. You know what I'm saying? So when I go to Jamaica every time, I'm like, look where I'm at, big brother. So hopefully I can go out there with him soon and learn some more things about the culture, being there with him.
Absolutely, most definitely, because he's got farmland and stuff out there. He's so proud of that. I love it.
He going hard.
Yeah, because you know,
and everything. Yeah.
Probably in the next few years, Bigga's going to be retiring. You know, he's in his early 60s now, so he may end up retiring there. I don't know.
Right.
Shout out to Bigga Rankin. We love you. He's a living legend.
We love you, Bigga.
Facts, man. Tell everybody where they can follow you at.
You can follow me on salute_CUG on all platforms. You can also go to my website, saluteempireservices.com, or you can go to saluteempire.com and check your boy out.
Tell everybody what the CUG is for.
CUG is come up game. You know,
that's the movement.
Yes, ma'am. It's for like kind of like the mentality we had, you know, in the Army, like this come up gang coalition.
Yeah.
You get a mentality to come up. Okay, now you coming up. You get more than 2 people doing it. Now you got a gang.
Yes.
Now if you get a whole plethora of people from real estate, now you got a coalition of people moving in the same way. So it's called Come Up Gang Coalition. So
I love it. That is dope, man. I know throughout this conversation you've mentioned quite a few people. Is there anybody in particular you want to shout out to?
I want to shout out everybody that's been, you know, supporting me on my journey. I want to shout y'all out because I wouldn't be here without y'all. So I want to give a shout out to my cameraman, you know, all the engineers, the people that don't get the credit.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? Y'all the real celebrities, you know what I'm saying? Like, we wouldn't sound like that or, you know, or look like that if they didn't do their job the way they did it. So just seeing how you running, I'm like, yeah, Tampa the truth. So shout out to y'all, man. Shout out to y'all.
Shout out to yourself too, bro. You're such a dope person.
I appreciate that.
Like,
man.
seriously, like, you know, take this music stuff out of it and the business stuff. You're just a dope person. Like, I wish we had a million more salutes on earth.
I appreciate it.
We could clone you over and over again because you're just a pleasure to be around. There's some of these artists, they are not a pleasure to be around. They have such a huge sense of arrogance. And like Bigga always says, what can you tell somebody who thinks they know everything? Right. Nothing. And a lot of them feel that way. So, you know, humble yourselves. You know what I'm saying? Get to know this guy right here.
For real.
Just want to give you your flowers real quick. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you so much, Tampa. I appreciate that.
Absolutely.
So
my last question is, we live once again. Big Industry's Most Wanted, not the little one.
The big one.
The big one. Salute, what makes you the industry's most wanted?
What makes me the industry's most wanted is that I'm individual. I'm bringing that authenticity back. I'm bringing something that most people are scared to say. Yeah. And I want to bring back, give them that confidence to be you. Be your social security number.
I love that.
You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, that's what I'm bringing to the game, authenticity and a new breath of fresh air.
That's what I'm talking about. Shout out to Salute in the building. Give me some love, man.
Appreciate you.
Boom. We up out of here.
All right, we out.
All love.
Yeah.
Pop that pussy for a rich nigga. Your baby daddy, he a bitch nigga. Ay, yeah, she want a rich nigga.